Hey, everybody, welcome to the Addiction Unlimited podcast, where you get to learn everything you want to know about addiction and recovery. I'm your host, Angela Pugh, co-founder of Kansas City Recovery, life coach, and recovering alcoholic. To learn more about me, you can listen to episode 0 on your podcast app or find us on the web at addictionunlimited.com. You're fine 1 minute and then suddenly the craving hits. You're irritated, anxious, or even just bored, and it feels like a drink is the only fix. Does this sound familiar? Well, you're not alone, and more importantly, you're not powerless in this situation. Today, I'm giving you my top tools to interrupt the craving cycle in the moment. These are simple, repeatable, and science-backed. You know, Dry July is just around the corner, so if you've been thinking about a fresh start, this is the episode to prep your toolkit. Hello, my friend. Welcome back to another episode of the Addiction Unlimited podcast. I'm your coach, Angela Pugh. You probably relate to this. You know, you're doing fine 1 minute, making dinner, answering emails, watching TV, and then out of nowhere, boom, a thought of drinking pops up. Your chest tightens, your brain goes into overdrive, and all the messages start flooding in like, oh, it'll just be one drink. I've been doing so well. Well, what if this is the one I really need? Does any of this sound familiar to you? Well, before we go any further, I want to clear something up because this trips up a lot of people. There is a huge difference between thinking about drinking and craving a drink. If you're in recovery or questioning your relationship with alcohol, it's not weird to have thoughts about drinking. That's part of the disease. It's part of the wiring. You've built an attachment to alcohol that has been reinforced over an extended period of time. That doesn't disappear overnight. So I want to be clear about this. Thinking about alcohol does not mean you're failing. It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It means your brain is doing exactly what it was trained to do. But an actual craving, that's something different. A craving comes with urgency, with emotion, and with a hit of adrenaline and panic. It's not a passing thought. It's a physiological pull that says, do something now. So if you've ever judged yourself harshly just for thinking about a drink, I want you to stop that right now. That thought is just a ghost. It's just an echo of your past. This episode is about what to do when it's not just a thought, but an actual craving. When the wave hits, your heart pounds, and the temptation feels real and immediate. And let me give you this mantra to remember from this moment forward. And this is one that will anchor you when that urge hits. This is what I want you to think. Relief, not relapse. Because that's what you really want. Not the drink, but the relief it promises. You want your mind to quiet, your body to relax. You want to feel something, anything other than overwhelmed, exhausted, or empty. The craving is not your enemy. It's just a signal. It's a flare from your nervous system saying, help, I don't feel okay. And today I'm giving you a new way to respond. So in this episode, you'll learn how to decode cravings so you stop taking them personally, my 4-step C.A.L.M method to crush the urge instead of trying to outrun it, and a simple mental reset you can use anytime a craving hits. And I'm going to be sharing more about this stuff on my Instagram this week to support building your toolkit. So if you want to follow me, it's at Addiction Unlimited on Instagram. And I'm going to be posting a lot more about this stuff. Because cravings are going to happen. That's just a reality. But from this moment forward, you'll know exactly what to do. Not just to survive the craving, but to come out stronger on the other side of it. So the first thing I'm going to say is I want to run through a few quick, simple things. One is name it, right? Cravings, just your brain's way of saying, I want to feel different. So the first thing we do is name what's happening. Say it out loud in your mind. I'm having a craving right now, and that's okay. It doesn't mean anything is wrong. It means I'm human. What this does is it activates your prefrontal cortex, which is the rational decision making part of the brain. And it helps calm your amygdala, which is the panic center. So just reframe that. A craving is a signal. It's not a command that you have to go take a drink, right? It's just a signal. And this was a game changer for me. Instead of spiraling, I would literally say, this is just a craving. It's not an emergency. It's just a craving. It doesn't mean I have to do anything, right? Like that's how I would talk myself through that. Also, cravings are energy, right? Cravings are stored energy. And if you don't release that energy, it's going to build up and take over. And you're going to learn more about this when I get into the C.A.L.M method. But one thing I did in my early sobriety too is at my house, I kept a craving basket. And I know that sounds silly, but it was one of my favorite things. And it was just a basket full of random stuff, silly putty, coloring pencils. I had peppermint oil in there for headaches, journal prompts on papers. So when the urge came, I could just go to the craving basket and I had all these little things in there that I could use right in that moment. So when I'm saying to myself, it's just a craving, it doesn't mean I have to do anything. Everything's fine. It'll pass. But I had things physically that I could do to distract from it also so that intensity didn't build up. One of my clients used to grab her phone and she would record a voice note. And she said, I'm not going to get this perfect. She'll probably message me after listening to this and tell me what she actually said. But it was something like, this is me choosing me and choosing to feel what I'm feeling instead of drinking. It was something like that, just a quick reminder for herself. And then she'd replay it every time she felt shaky. And that one little practice helped her get through her first 30 days. So let's get into this new tool to add to your toolkit. And this is my C.A.L.M method, a 4-step process you can use in real time to interrupt a craving and reset your emotional state. It's simple, it's science-backed, and it's something you can start using today. Here's how it works. C is catch the craving. This first step is simple but powerful. And it's what I already talked about a minute ago of naming it, right? Notice what's happening and name it. Instead of letting the craving sneak in and run the show, you catch it in the act. And say to yourself, this is a craving. I'm feeling pulled toward alcohol right now. It's my brain doing what it's practiced, and that's okay. And here's why this matters. Most people try to ignore it or push away the craving, but that only makes it louder. Instead, when you name it, you really do 2 important things. One, you create distance from it, right? Instead of I need a drink, it becomes I'm having a craving. That tiny shift changes how much power that urge has over you. And the second thing is, you wake up the smart part of your brain. When you name what's happening, your prefrontal cortex, the rational decision-making part of the brain, comes back online. That means you're no longer on autopilot. You're driving the car again, right? So remember, shift it from I need a drink to I'm having a craving. It's just that simple. Think of it like switching from reacting to responding. Reacting is instant and emotional. Responding is intentional. And that's where your power lives. The next one, A, is activate. Activate your body. Once you've named the craving and created a little distance from it, the next step is to get out of your head and into your body. Why? Because cravings aren't just thoughts. They're physical. They live in your nervous system. When a craving hits, your body goes into stress mode. Your heart might race, your chest gets tight, you feel agitated or wired. That's your nervous system flooding you with adrenaline, trying to push you into action, like grabbing a drink to calm down. But you don't need alcohol to calm down. You need movement to shift that energy. And here's what activate your body can look like in a craving moment. Stand up and shake out your hands and feet. Take 5 deep belly breaths. Inhale through your nose, exhale out your mouth. Go to the gym or for a run, or just stretch. Stretch your arms overhead. Put cold water on your wrists or splash your face, or walk outside for 2 minutes, even if it's just to your mailbox and back. These simple actions tell your body, I'm safe. I don't need to panic. And here's the science. When you move your body, you signal to your parasympathetic nervous system, right? That's your calming system. When you move your body, you signal that to kick in, and it's like hitting the brakes on a runaway train. And the cold water thing, why cold water works during a craving, because when a craving hits, your body goes into fight or flight mode, even if there's no real danger. Cold water is a powerful way to help your body switch gears and calm itself down. Firstly, it activates the diving reflex. Splashing cold water on your face, especially around your eyes, nose, and cheeks, stimulates being submerged in water, which automatically slows your heart rate, reduces blood pressure, and calms your system. It also engages your vagus nerve. Putting cold water on your wrists or on your neck stimulates the vagus nerve, and that's like the brake pedal for your stress response. It helps bring your body back to a state of rest. It also interrupts mental spirals, right? The physical sensation of cold water pulls you out of the panic loop in your head and brings you back into the present moment. It's a grounding technique, and it snaps your focus back to your body and back to your surroundings. So cold water is a reset button for your nervous system. It gives your brain a moment to pause, recalibrate, and remember, I'm okay. I don't need alcohol to fix this. You're not trying to fight the craving. You're helping your body release it. Movement helps you ride the wave instead of getting dragged under by it. Okay, L, link. Link to the future you. You've caught the craving, you've calmed your body, and now it's time to reconnect to your values, not your urges. This is where we bring your sober identity back into the picture. When a craving hits, your brain gets tunnel vision. It hyper focuses on one thing, relief right now. That's why this step is so important. It widens your lens. You're reminding your brain, I don't live for this one moment. I live for the whole person I'm becoming. And here's what you can do. Ask yourself a grounding question, right? A grounding question is like, what would my future self want me to do right now? Or how do I want to feel when I wake up tomorrow? Or is this urge leading me forward toward my goals or pulling me back where I don't want to be? That one little pause helps you shift from short-term relief to long-term self-respect. You can also visualize. This is a good way to link to the future you also. Close your eyes and picture it. You didn't drink. You chose yourself, your future, and to protect your sobriety. You get to go to bed calm, clear-headed, and proud of what you did. And even visualize the next morning and how incredible you feel. Like, how many times have you woken up like, oh my God, I am so grateful I didn't drink last night? Visualize all of that and feel how good that feels. That image helps rewire your reward loop. Instead of associating relief with alcohol, you start linking relief with integrity and progress and pride. One of my clients printed a photo of herself smiling at 90 days sober, and she taped it to the inside of one of her cabinets. So every time she had that evening witching hour, she'd go look, and that photo helped remind her of who she was becoming. It kept her goal front of mind, right? So she didn't want to move backwards. She wanted to move forward. Remember, cravings make you forget who you are. This step helps you remember. M, micro choice or micro decision, as I say sometimes. This is the step that moves you from intention to action. You've calmed your nervous system. You've anchored into who you want to be. Now it's time to do something small but powerful that reinforces your choice. So why a micro choice? Because cravings can feel overwhelming. Your brain wants certainty, relief, and a full solution right the F now. But you don't need to solve the whole night or the whole situation. You just need to take one next step. Think of a micro choice as a stepping stone out of the craving loop. So a micro choice might be set a 10-minute timer and say for the next 10 minutes, I'm choosing not to drink. You've probably heard me talk about this a lot. I did this a ton in my early sobriety, 10 minutes at a time, 10 minutes at a time. And I'd be cleaning out a drawer or cleaning out a closet. And after 10 minutes, I'd check in with myself like, okay, how am I? How do I feel? If I was still feeling it pretty strong, I'd go do another 10 minutes. You can also text a friend or post in a sober community and just say something simple like craving right now, remind me why I don't want to drink. And everybody will flood with all these amazing comments and you will be so grateful, not only for the support and the insight, but it's also a great distraction to get you through that craving. Make a cup of tea, grab something nourishing to eat. Open the notes app on your phone and write like, I'm choosing peace, not alcohol. I'm choosing me. I'm choosing sobriety. These tiny moves do two things. One, they buy you time, right? Because cravings peak and then they pass 15 to 20 minutes. That's all you need. And secondly, they rebuild your trust in yourself through the actions that you take. That's how you start to trust yourself and believe in yourself that you can do this. The craving isn't the test. What you do next is. And your next move doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be aligned with the future you're building. So let's do a quick recap. The next time a craving hits, remember C.A.L.M. C, catch it and name it. A, activate, move your body and reset your system. L, link, reconnect with your future self. M, micro choice, make one strong micro choice. Cravings don't require strength, they require strategy. You're not trying to win a war, you're trying to stay grounded long enough to remember who you really are. So let's take a breath together and bring this home. Because here's the truth. You're not weak for having cravings. You're not failing. You're not broken. You're human. And your brain is doing exactly what it was trained to do. But today, you learned how to interrupt that pattern, how to go from feeling powerless to taking powerful action. So again, let's recap my C.A.L.M method. C, catch the craving. Notice what's happening and name it. That's how you shift from reacting to responding. A, activate your body. Cravings live in your nervous system. Move, breathe, reset, because motion changes emotion. L, link to future you. Ask, what would my future self want me to do right now? This reconnects you to your values, not your urges. And M, micro choice. Make one micro choice. You don't have to conquer the whole night or the whole situation. Just take one small step that aligns with your truth. Every time you walk through a craving, you're not just staying sober, you're rewiring your brain. You're building emotional strength, mental flexibility, and self-trust. This isn't about perfection. It's about building a system that works even on your hardest days. Because when you can respond to discomfort with compassion and strategy, you stop being at the mercy of cravings and you start becoming the person you were always meant to be. Let that sink in. If this episode resonated with you, take 30 seconds and share it with a friend who's on this journey too. We don't beat cravings by doing it alone. We beat them with community and with tools and with truth. And if you want to go deeper and get more support, build your sober confidence with accountability and coaching, reach out to me. This is what I do, and I'd love to walk the next chapter with you. You can do that at addictionunlimited.com/call. Of course, that will be linked in the show notes as always. And next time a craving hits, remember this mantra: relief, not relapse, because that's what you really want. And now you have a way to get there. You've got this, and I've got you. Say it with me one more time. Relief, not relapse. That's your power move. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you next week.
You've reached the end of another great episode of the Addiction Unlimited podcast. Candid and honest conversation about addiction and recovery. Be sure to visit us at addictionunlimited.com to join the conversation and access show notes and links to everything we talked about. Love this episode? Please take 30 seconds to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes to help us improve and give you the information you want. Thanks for listening. See you next week.